Thank you very much. Well, as I always say, everybody here is always wonderful to hear everybody, but that's just me just praising everybody too much. What's my issue? But anyway, we're starting up with the second round here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that means that I get to read poetry from the other literary magazine that I publish, from Down in the Dirt magazine. Now, this is the October issue, and I was like, I want to have something for Halloween. Duh, for us Americans, something, pumpkin, something, I have no idea. I took this photo of where we went to have breakfast, and there were all these pumpkins sitting around in this area, and I'm like, I want to use it for something. So I'm searching at titles, and I found for the Down in the Dirt, somebody had a piece in there that was called Fall Rituals. And I said, what do you think, to my husband John? He's like, oh, that's better than just saying something about, Halloween or something. So Fall Rituals is the cover of Down in the Dirt magazine, and there's all these pumpkins everywhere, and there's a little table with pumpkins everywhere, and it's just this pumpkin party, because that happens with Fall Rituals, whether or not you're carving them for having for food, or having pumpkin seeds to eat, or carving things into their faces, or decorating for Halloween. I don't know if anybody's doing anything for Halloween. I'm gonna be deep thought this year when I go out of town for Halloween, which means I have to make a costume for a big box for my head, which should be fun because nobody then could look at my head, and then it'll be a great costume because nobody sees my face. Anyway, Down in the Dirt magazine has material in it from assorted people. Fall Rituals is the title for that one, and I have I'm gonna pick 3 pieces from the end of this book that are not only in this but are also in the Cyberwood book, The Universe is in Your Hands. Whose hands? I think it's in yours, so these are poems for that. And this first one, and because a lot of the stuff in this book talks about things that happen around the world, or about cultural things, or about geologic things. This one poem, the first one I'm going to share with you that's in both of these books, is about seeing something like that in the United States. And it is about, well, I'll tell you, this is for Arizona, and it's called Edge of That Massive Impact. Meteors, givers of life, as astronomers assumed it was comets that gave Earth all of its water, but lo and behold, they were surprised to find just how water-rich asteroids were too. As comets and asteroids enter Earth's atmosphere, that's when they break down and form meteorites and larger meteors. These celestial bodies may give water to start life on Earth, but meteors may also deliver death. Reflect on the meteor smashing into Mexico and the Gulf, raining ash and iridium over the planet, leading to the demise of the dinosaurs. But how many giant meteor craters are out there, really? You can't see the Chicxulub crater underwater from all that 5-mile wide meteor collision. There's one in South Africa, one in Australia, one in Canada that's now a bed of a lake, but a meteor crater in the States? The United States? Well, Arizona, Barringer crater, named for the man contradicting many scientists at the time, was convinced that this crater was from a large meteor striking Earth. So let's actually experience this. Let's go to see what kind of destruction one of these meteors can really do. See the sand melted into glass from the heat of any massive explosion by asteroid, meteor, or comet impact. You could try to buy a piece of the great sand sea glass from the tourist shop, but the real impact you'll feel is from when you actually stand right there on the edge of that massive impact. Span it with your eyes, for no camera can can actually capture it all. Then breathe. We think we humans are so massive and so important, and in some ways we are, but look around at the layers of color generated by one instantaneous impact. See for yourself what the universe can really do without any help by us, quote-unquote, civilized humans. I assume we will be the ultimate destroyers of humankind, but nature may have a thing or two to counteract that theory of the importance of humankind after all. Study how one impact led to a massive extinction on planet Earth. Then look into craters. like this one and see it for yourself. John tried to take one shot of me when we were there at this massive impact. I'm like, this thing is just huge. It was absolutely amazing, and I think I might have a piece of a crater bit in this pile of all of these things behind me. So that was a fun thing and a fascinating thing to go through, to see effects on what happens throughout the universe, how it affects your planet as well. But the next two poems, which I'm super excited to be able to share with you because I'm an astronomy girl, are not only in the back of Fall Rituals, but also in The Universe is in Your Hands. And in the back, there's stuff about astronomy stuff, which I believe Ron knows because he was talking about some of that in his stuff. But they are stuff for astronomy stuff. I hope you like them. They're about moons. They're about moons. This first one is about moons on Mars. The moons of Mars. What? Yeah. They got two of them there. And this is a poem called Phobos Fears the Dread Deimos Knows. One small little creature, wandering, lost, it was caught by the Roman red giant Mars, also known as Ares, the Greek god of war. The only way this delicate creature could survive Mars is to also be the son of Aphrodite, Venus. But trust me, Mars would force poor Phobos to only personify fear. But what choice did he have? Too light for gravity to give him shape, now porous, heavily cratered, and drowning in the meteor of dust from meteor bombardments. So Phobos' only choice was to spin so close to Mars's equator, in a perfect circle, closer than any other known orbit circling Mars, every 7 hours and 39 minutes. Though Phobos and Deimos were twins who led Ares into battle, Deimos represented dread and terror that befell those before a battle, and Phobos personified fear and panic in the midst of battle. In the celestial realm, the smaller Deimos knew the terror from Phobos' fear before it became the smaller moon's turn. Phobos may know that Mars, may do him in when that orbit pulls him in, as this poor trapped moon refuses to shine, with their sunlit side rivaling a pleasant Chicago winter day, and only a few kilometers away on the dark side, it's harsher than an Antarctica night. Of course, this little gem fears its fate, knows it's doomed, spinning so close to its future destroyer, while little Deimos knows the terror of being forced to watch Phobos' fate before this orbital death befalls Deimos too. Phobos fears his future, but of course, Mars, coming from war, knows that this is just the way things go. It doesn't matter if their mother is Venus. Mars never knew love, and after Mars pulled his boys in, they're trapped with their fate sealed and no way to break free. I got me a planetary moon one, so I thought I'd close with one about our own moon. I had to do one for our own moon. This one, and I had to prove it and bring a globe with the moon along. I'm like, I'll put it down here for you guys. Because, he's the moon and he's awesome, so I might as well have a globe of the moon. Anyway, this is the last poem called Our Interlocking Dance with the Moon. Ripples from the tides lap along the shore as our eyes gaze up to the moon, the man on the moon, this mysterious being born from us as we feel led in our interlocked dance. We croon and wax poetic about this seemingly mythical enigma, but scientists add more satellites to orbit the moon for research. Now, since moon's clocks are faster than Earth clocks, the U.S. government wants NASA to establish a moon time zone. Really. That, and NASA sent me an email recently about sending them a job application to become an astronaut. Now, I know I don't have the technical background to fly in outer space. Besides, I'd rather be their second artist in residence instead. But NASA hasn't sent me any emails to apply for that job. The thing is, it wasn't from astronauts or NASA or even news that I learned about the seemingly never-ending dance with the moon that it will end. I mean, those ties we keep attributing to the moon, well, Earth's rotation pushes the tidal bulge slightly ahead of the moon, feeding bits of energy into the moon, pushing out the moon's orbit, spinning away from the Earth close to 1.5 inches every year. And I first learned of this from NASA's artist in residence. Because the artists are the ones who tell you the good stuff. Like, during the Cold War, before they put man on the moon, the Air Force thought to set off a nuclear bomb on the moon. Something visible to the naked eye on Earth. Because that, they thought, quote, would boost the morale of the American people. Really? But then again, after a year of Laurie Anderson's artist in residence, NASA asked about her progress, and she told them she was writing one long poem. That may be when NASA halted its artist in residence program. So, when all these science types are taking over the moon, where does that leave room for us poets, artists, dreamers? Astronomy, you got your astronomy fix. I hope you guys like that. Sorry, I'm done with my astronomy fix. Now I'm going to bring it up for round 2. Yes, those were from Down in the Dirt and The Universe is in Your Hands. Had to show them off one more time. One more time. But anywho, if John F. McMullen is ready, you are ready to read. And then, yay, we get to hear music from Ron. So if you're ready, John, the stage is yours. Take it away.